Hello everyone, this is Neha Sharma, and today in this video we will read poem number 4 from our book Hornbill, and the name of the poem is Childhood, which is written by Max Nitton. Dear kids, here on your screen you can see one quotation. I miss being a little kid with no stress, worries or care in the world. You also miss your childhood. I too want to become a child sometimes. So, childhood is considered to be one of the best phases of the life when one has no worries, no stress, no tension. It is enjoyed by almost everyone. But there comes a time in one's life when one wants to get one's childhood again but can't. Here, in this poem, Childhood, the poet sheds light on the importance of being child and regrets of losing his childhood, one of the best ages of life. He begins a beautifully crafted poem with a typical question, and that says, "When did I lose my childhood?" And he continuously inquires the readers time and again till the third stanza of the poem is over. He uses a refrain, "Was it the day?" at the end of every stanza also, to confirm the readers about the time when he has lost his childhood. So dear students, this is the picture of the poet Max Nitton. You can see on your screen. Let's have the summary of this. Childhood is written by Max Nitton. In the poem, poet thinks over his lost childhood. He wonders about the moment where he has lost his innocence and realized that the world is not what it seemed to be. He recalls when his thoughts changed and he realized the hypocrisy of the people around him. He finally settled down to the idea that his childhood went to some forgotten place and is hidden in the face of an innocent infant. Here you can see the girl. She is in the stage of childhood and she is enjoying her life. Here on your screen you can see the poem Childhood. Let's have a reading of that. When did my childhood go? Was it the day I ceased to be 11? Was it the time I realized that hell and heaven could not be found in geography and therefore could not be? Was that day? When did my childhood go? Was it the time I realized that adults were not all they seemed to be? They talked of love and preached of love, but did not act so lovingly. Was that the day? When did my childhood go? Was it when I found my mind was really mine, to use whichever way I choose, producing thoughts that were not those of other people, but my own and mine alone? Was that the day? Where did my childhood go? It went to some forgotten place that is hidden in the infant's face. That's all I know, by Max Nitton. So now let's start stanza-wise explanation of this poem, Childhood. Let's start with stanza number 1. When did my childhood go? Was it the day I ceased to be 11? What is the time I realized that hell and heaven could be found in geography and therefore could not be? Was that day? So dear students, here in this first stanza, the poet wonders when he lost his childhood. He reflects that perhaps it was the day when he crossed the age of 11. Maybe it was the stage when he realized that the concept of hell and heaven, about which he had been taught since the childhood, did not exist in reality. The geography textbook did not give the location of any such places. So the poet realizes that he might have lost his childhood when he gained his rational outlook due to getting educated. So dear students, if we talk about the rhyming scheme of this first stanza, that is what the last word we have to check, right? So let's see, it is go, then 11, then heaven, then geography, be and day. So if we'll consider this go as a sound of A, right? 11 as B, 11 and heaven are matching, so this is again B. Geography is not matching with go, 11 and heaven, that's why we will consider as a new sound, that's what C. And B, if you can see geography and B almost same, it is not there that the spelling should be of same, means ending with the same alphabet, but sound you have to check. So geography and B, that is what C, and the last one day is not matching at all with anyone, so it is what D. So we will see that the rhyming scheme of the first stanza is A, B, B, then C, C and then D, right? So what is the rhyming scheme of first stanza? It's A, B, B, C, C, D. Now, one very important thing I want to tell you here, that it is, I have told you in the starting also, that when did my childhood go? This first line and the last line, was that the day? This is being, you can see in your textbook, both of these lines are being repeated, right? So this is acting as refrain here. So what does refrain means? A group of phrase which is repeated in the poem, right? So this first line and the last line is being used in all three stanzas, first three stanzas, right? So that is what this is rhyming scheme and refrain we are talking about here in this stanza. Clear? Now next if we will see the next poetic device, that is what? You can see here two words, hell and heaven. So you can see hell and heaven, right? So here hell and heaven are the words which are starting with H. So hell and heaven, this is giving these are having two type of words here. Number one is hell and heaven having H sound, no? So that is what? Alliteration. And the second poetic device used here is antithesis in these both words hell and heaven, right? Because hell and heaven are just opposite words, they are used together in a sentence of this poem. So hell and heaven are opposite words, so that is also known as antithesis. So dear students, in this stanza we have read that the poet is not sure that when he became an adult, and he is telling in the first stanza that it was when he was 11 years old, then he realized that hell and heaven had no real existence in the age in which he was living. These are just the components of the child's bedtime stories, and he stressed the word geography, right? Here you can see geography by capitalizing it. It is a reference to that fact that at that time the poet started to familiarize himself with the rational world. And in this same stanza, the poet uses the line, you can see the second last line, and therefore could not be. This is why he has used this for, he wanted to emphasize that he could not be freely roaming in his imaginary world like before when he was a child. There should not be any room for such childlike dreaming now. The time has changed. He is not a child anymore. And that's why the use of refrain in the last line highlights the poet's transition into adulthood. Here in this first stanza, you can note some of the new words also. Go here means, see, G-O, go in first line, that means means to end, right? And then ceased to be. Ceased to be means to stopped being. And then he realized. Realized means to. Realized means to understand, but it is realized because so realized means understood. So the gist of the stanza is that the poet realizes that he might have lost his childhood when he gained his rational outlook due to getting educated. So this much is enough for today. The explanation of second and third stanza we will do tomorrow in the next class. Thank you very much for today. Make the notes of this in your notebook and write down the poetic devices and the new words in your notebook. Thank you very much.